Marcus Aurelius, the Philosopher King, was known for his wisdom and his ability to lead with grace and dignity. One of the most famous quotes from his book Meditations is "Do not speak, act." But what exactly does this mean? And how can we apply it to our own lives? Let's dive in. In ancient Rome, there was a saying that a wound to the ear is a pleasure to the wise. The idea is that if you have good judgment and discernment, you will appreciate moments of quiet and solitude. In a world that often feels like it is full of noise and distractions, it is easy to forget the value of silence. We are constantly bombarded with information from the media, from our colleagues and friends, and it can feel like there is an expectation that we must always be available and responsive. However, these expectations are often unrealistic and unfair. It is important to remember that you do not need to respond to every message or invitation, and you should not feel guilty for taking some time for yourself. Silence can be a source of great pleasure and wisdom, and it is something that we should all strive to appreciate more. When you think about it, the things that matter most in life are the things that we cannot see or touch. Love, hope, faith, and the power of the mind are just a few of the intangible things that make life worth living. We are so lucky to be human beings because we are able to experience these things. There is no other creature on earth that can match the complexity and depth of the human experience. That is why life is so precious. It is because of the things that we cannot see or touch that make it so special. If you want to understand the true meaning of life, then you need to look beyond the physical world around you. You need to look into your own heart and mind and try to understand the things that matter most to you. What do you believe in? What gives your life meaning? What makes you feel connected to something greater than yourself? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. If you want to understand the true nature of reality, don't be fooled by the illusion of the physical world. Look beyond what you see and touch and try to understand the things that truly matter. Your life may never make perfect sense, but that doesn't mean it's not meaningful. So keep going and never give up. As a leader, one of the hardest things that you will ever have to do is to fire someone. It is a difficult task that requires a lot of thought and care. If you are not careful, you could end up making a decision that you regret. However, if you follow a few simple guidelines, you can make the firing process as smooth as possible. First, you need to be honest with yourself and with the employee. Do not try to sugarcoat things or beat around the bush. Tell the employee why they are being fired and give them the opportunity to improve. Second, you need to be respectful. Even though the employee may be upset, it is still important to treat them with respect. Be polite and professional throughout the conversation. Finally, you need to be decisive. Once you have made your decision, stick to it. Do not let the employee beg for another chance or try to guilt you into changing your mind. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the firing process is as fair and respectful as possible. It is never easy to fire someone, but it is sometimes necessary. By following these tips, you can make the process a little less painful for everyone involved. When I tell people that I write my book, they usually respond with a look of surprise and a really, "How do you find the time?" I'm not sure why this surprises people so much, but I think it has to do with the fact that writing a book is something that most people never do. They see the finished product and don't really know how I found the time to write it. But it wasn't all that difficult, really. I just sat down and wrote. This is the same advice I would give to anyone who wants to write a book. Just sit down and write. It's not something that you'll find in any self-help book, but it's the truth. The first step to writing a book is to just start writing. Don't worry about finding the time. You'll find it. And don't worry about the quality of your writing. You can always go back and edit later. The most important thing is to just get the words down on paper. Once you've written a few pages, you'll start to get into a rhythm. You'll find yourself writing more and more each day. Before you know it, you'll have a book. People often overthink the writing process, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Just sit down and write. The rest will come naturally. Marcus Aurelius, the last of Rome's 5 good emperors, ruled from 161 to 180 AD. He was born into the Nerva Antonini dynasty, which aimed at securing the Pax Romana through a series of adoptions. His father died when he was young, and his grandfather and great-grandfather were also emperors. Despite coming from a wealthy and influential family, Marcus Aurelius was a man of the people. He was known for his intelligence, his work ethic, and his commitment to justice and fairness. He was also a skilled military leader, winning many victories against Rome's enemies. Despite his many accomplishments, Marcus Aurelius was a humble man. He was known for his modesty, his piety, and his dedication to public service. He was also a philosopher, and he believed that the key to happiness was living a life of virtue and pursuing wisdom. Marcus Aurelius was a true Renaissance man, a man who was accomplished in many areas of study, and a man who lived a life of virtue and wisdom. Many people today still admire Marcus Aurelius, and his example continues to inspire people all over the world. You should aspire to be like him. It is not easy to live a life of virtue and wisdom, but it is possible. If you follow Marcus Aurelius's example, you will be rewarded with happiness and fulfillment. So do not speak, act like Marcus Aurelius, and you will be a better person for it. I am sure that you have already realized that you cannot please everyone. In fact, you cannot even please yourself all the time. So why bother trying to please others? It is simply not possible. You are not God. You are just a person with limitations. Accept this fact and move on. Trying to please everyone will only make you miserable. You will be constantly worrying about what other people think of you. You will be trying to conform to their expectations and trying to be everything to everyone. In the end, you will be nothing but a hollow shell of your former self. You will lose sight of your own goals and aspiration. You will lose your identity. Stop trying to please everyone and focus on what really matters. Focus on your own goals and aspiration. Be true to yourself. This is the only way to achieve true happiness and fulfillment. Don't try to please everyone. Be true to yourself. Stop caring about what other people think of you and start doing what you want to do. The only way to be happy is to stop caring about what other people think of you. When you stop caring about what other people think, you become free to do what you want to do. You become free to be yourself. When you are true to yourself, you are happy. It is the only way to be happy. Other people's opinions of us do not matter. They are not in our control. We cannot change other people's opinions of us. The only thing we can control is our own thoughts and actions. So stop worrying about what other people think of you and start focusing on being true to yourself. That is the only way to be happy. One of the most important things that I have learned in my life is that you should never take anything for granted. Every day is a new opportunity to do something great. Never take that for granted. Always remember that you are alive, and that is something to be thankful for. Life is a gift, and you should never take it for granted. Appreciate every moment that you have and make the most of it. As a CEO, you have a responsibility to your employees to create a positive and productive work environment. This means creating an environment where employees feel valued, respected, and motivated to do their best work. A positive and productive work environment is essential for any organization. It creates an atmosphere where employees feel comfortable sharing ideas, taking risks, and working together to achieve common goals. Employees who feel valued and respected are more likely to be engaged in their work and produce high-quality results. When employees feel that they are part of a team and that their contributions are valued, they are more likely to be satisfied with their work and less likely to quit. Creating a positive and productive work environment is not easy, but it is essential for any CEO who wants their organization to succeed. So if you are a CEO, don't take your responsibility lightly. Create a work environment where employees feel valued, respected, and motivated. It is your responsibility to make sure that your employees have the tools and resources they need to do their jobs effectively. This includes providing them with the training, equipment, and support they need to succeed. You also need to make sure that your employees feel like they are part of a team. This means encouraging open communication, collaboration, and mutual respect among employees. When employees feel like they are part of a team, they are more likely to be engaged in their work and produce high-quality results. As a CEO, you also need to be a positive role model for your employees. This means treating everyone with respect, no matter what their position is, and leading by example. When your employees see you treating everyone with respect and working hard to achieve the company's goals, they are more likely to follow your lead. By following these tips, you can create a positive and productive work environment that will benefit both your employees and your organization. Remember, your employees are your most valuable asset. Take care of them and they will take care of your business. You have probably heard the quote, "Do not speak, act." But have you ever stopped to think about what it really means? When someone tells you to shut up and go do something, it can seem like a harsh and insensitive thing to say. But when you look at it more closely, you realize that there is a lot of truth to it. Most of us spend a lot of time talking, either to ourselves, our friends, or strangers, and a lot of that talking is negative and unproductive. We complain about our problems, we criticize others, we gossip, we argue, and all of this talking takes away from the time we could be spending actually doing something. So next time someone tells you to shut up and go do something, don't be offended. Take it as a sign to stop wasting time and start being productive. And remember, sometimes the best thing you can do is just shut up and listen. Talking can often make things worse, but listening can help you understand and connect with others. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where someone tells you to shut up and go do something, don't be offended. Use it as an opportunity to grow and learn.